Welcome back guys to this brand new Kitemana video, and today we have something very special, the brand new 2026 Duotone Rebel D lab.
Run for them life. When I step into the jungle, said they wanna group up. They better move up, never gonna win a Royal Rumble. But when I come through, you know what I love to. I send shots for your team and leader.
This guy seems to be a crazy good guy.
Like a Ribena. Yo.
We arrived at the Zen Motor. We brought a 9 meter 2026 Rebel D lab and we're gonna compare it together with Jamie Overbeek. So now wait for the boys, gear up and head to the spot. Let's go.
Hi guys, it's Jamie here. Wind is looking good. I think we have around 30 knots. It's gonna be good on 9 meter. The lagoon is a bit small, but it will probably get a little bit bigger in the next hour. So yeah, let's try to send it and see how the new Rebel D lab performs.
I hope you're as excited as we are, because this kite seems to be a crazy good kite. So let's talk about all the technical details first and then head out to the water and see what this kite is all about.
Okay, before we head back to the Zen Motor for some more action, I'm here to tell you a little bit more information about the Rebel D lab. So the Rebel D lab for 2025 was the first Rebel D lab in the Alula material, and it was super successful. It was even a thing that inside the company there was a certain target that they wanted to hit in number of sales, and in October or November this number was reached already. So everybody was blown away by the results. Everybody in the industry really likes the kite. Everybody that jumps it really likes the kite. You see Andrea jumping super big, all the team riders. I jumped over a plane with the kite, which was super cool. For 2026, there were a few kind of key features that they wanted to change. One of them is to change to the Duotone DTX Alula material, which is a new material exclusive to Duotone. They wanted to make the kite a little bit more playful, so it doesn't fly straight as much, but it steers faster. They wanted more vertical jumping, so you can jump straight up instead of floating downwind, but still trying to maintain the hang time in the kite. And they wanted to ideally remove the pulleys of the bridle. All those things were a very big challenge, especially for the designer, and a lot of work. Removing the pulley is one of the hardest things you can do in a kite design, especially once you have a good kite with a pulley, but then taking the pulley off, you just basically start all over again. But all the things have been heard, so having the kite with the Alula DTX material, which is a little bit more flexible, and removing the pulleys kind of made it the same as how it was before with the stiffer material and the pulleys. So that's kind of how they made it more playful, but still very stable. And another thing they did is they shortened the center strut slightly, which kind of makes the aspect a little bit bigger. And then with the more flexible material, it makes the kite much faster. So you can see in the videos where maybe jumping with the old kite, you could do like one big down loop. And now with the newer Rebel D lab, it's much more faster. It's very intuitive, and you can very well kind of decide if you want to do a big loop or a small loop. The bar feedback is super nice, so you can just crank hard and do a little loop, or do it a little bit softer and do a bigger loop, and it will keep going very fast and keep a lot of forward momentum. So in theory, from the testing and everything we've done, the handling should be much better, the steering should be quicker, the turning radius could be a little bit quicker, but the real action and the real knowledge can be when Lucas and Jamie try it out on the Zen Motor and see what they say. Because they don't know what I'm saying right now. They actually had the session already, and now I'm saying this, so we'll see. Let's switch over there.
So the kites are rigged up. We have the 2025 and the 26 laying here. Jamie is gonna go on his trusty old 2025, and afterwards we're gonna switch and see what the differences are. So let's dive in. So first impression, the kites are quite a lot different, more than I expected to be honest. And Jamie is also having quite a good time on the 26 version. So Jamie, first impression?
It feels super nice, it has a lot of second lift, the bar pressure is a lot lighter than on the old one. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is how high it jumps.
Let's see. The main differences that you can immediately feel is the bar pressure and the steering pressure. The 2025 one has quite a bit more bar pressure because you still want to control and a good feeling in the bar if you're going extreme and as high as possible, just like Jamie does over here. switched again. I'm on the 26 one now, so let's see.
Right now. Yeah, maybe I have to switch back one more time to the new one to see if the wind got different again. But the low end is better for sure on the new one.
So Jamie changed the setting on to the hard setting. He thinks that he can like get the kite more vertical up in the sky. So he's gonna try it right now. So let's see. This guy never crashes as well. It's crazy. I think he still has dry air from the session. Oh, there he comes. Whoppa. Too easy. Too easy for him. So we're back. Let's dive in. We tested the 2025 Rebel D Lab against the 2026 one. Very cool to do that with Jamie. Jamie was very hyped about the kite as well. So he will tell you everything about it right now. And afterwards we're going to switch back to me. And I'm going to tell you everything about how I experienced the two kites. So let's dive in.
So I just had my first session on the new Rebel D Lab, 9 meter with 24 meter lines. And I was kind of impressed. In the beginning, it felt like everything was better. But after that, I found a few things that was better on the old one. But overall, the new one is a lot easier. I have more confidence to do my loop tricks, especially a signature trick for me, contra tornado, that I really like. For me, it's hard to do that trick on the old Rebel D Lab. And on the new one, it was quite easy because the bar pressure is a bit lighter. And the steering is just more predictable. You can really feel the kite where it's steering. It's super direct. You really know what the kite is gonna do. So for progression, that one is a lot better. And maybe when the wind really picks up, the old one can jump a bit more vertical. But overall, if you want to just progress your tricks and stuff and have a fun session and don't get a tennis elbow, then the new one is a lot better than the old one. So I really enjoyed it and I'm gonna test it a lot more in the future to see in what conditions I really like it.
So we arrived at the spot. The wind was 25 to 30 knots. So ideal conditions to test these 9 meter Rebels, especially on flat water. Probably the best conditions to test these kites back to back. Well, you can switch them very quickly on the beach and go out again. Jamie started on the 2025 one. I started on the 2026 one. We did that because Jamie already is familiar with the 2025 Rebel. I rode it as well. But yeah, he could really get the feeling for the 2026 right after we switched. Now, I already liked the 2025 Rebel D Lab. I rode a couple times with it and I had great sessions on the kite. So I was very curious to find out how the 2026 one would perform. If there was going to be a difference anyway. Now, we already knew that the Alula was different, but yeah, maybe the difference were not that big. But there is a really big difference, especially in the riding and the bar feel, which I'm going to tell you about later. If you already liked the 2025 Rebel D Lab, the difference is in a very positive way to the 26 one. So the first thing you will notice when you ride the kites back to back is that the 2026 one has lighter bar pressure and steering pressure. It means that you can loop the kite easier and it feels easier in your hands compared to the 2025 one. There is still some pressure and you can tune it to the medium setting. That's what Jamie did as well during the session, which is quite interesting. So you can play around with that. All in all, I think that's a perfect mix between light bar pressure but not too light. You don't know where the kite is in the sky. So you still know if you're backwards, in the sky, you still know where the kite is and what it's gonna do. So it's not so light that you don't know where the kite is, and otherwise you can even trim it to more the 2025 kind of feel. So another big change in the Rebel D Lab 2026 is the turning speed of the kite. So if you pull the bar, the kite really accelerates a bit more than the 2025 one and recovers very fast after kite loops. Yeah, this also makes sure, like Lasse said in the tech talk, is that you can control how you loop the kite. So you can go for a classic Rebel D Lab loop, I would say, with a bit more free fall in it. So you could also go for a new school loop, which not a big of an angle while looping it, but it recovers quicker after you, and you do have some second lift after that. So if you want to do some tricks after the loop or during the loop, yeah, this kite really helps you with that. So also quite funny is that I tried a laid back on the 2026 one, which I did not do on the 25. On the 25 I needed to get some riding back and forth to get the feeling in it and the courage to do a kite loop laid back. On the 26 I knew that I was going to be coming around with and get catched with a down loop. You will also get it with the 25, but the comfort on the 26 is just a bit more, because you definitely know that you will be coming around after the loop. And also you feel it without even looking at it, that it's gonna go well without a big crash. So all in all, in terms of big air, these two kites are very, very good and outstanding in its range. Spot was not too big, and Jamie and I really noticed that the 2026 one has a very good second lift. So the spot nearly was too small to land on still. Yeah, it was really nice to have like the second lift and go again up in the sky. And the wind even wasn't that strong. Yeah, it was a nice benefit of the 26 one. So in terms of the D-power and how you can control the kite when the wind is going to be a little bit stronger, we did not notice any major differences, or actually none. That's a good thing in my opinion, because the 2025 one has a pulleyed bridle and the 26 went to a pulley-less bridle, which helps with the directness of the kite, how snappy it feels. And sometimes the downside of a pulley-less bridle is that it doesn't have as much D-power stroke as the pulleyed bridle would have. So you maybe could have some differences in high-end performance. So when the wind picked up a bit from a rain cloud, we did not notice any differences, and we could just ride the same as we did on the 25 or the 26 one. So in my opinion, that's a very big plus point of the Rebel D Lab 2026, because you have the directness of a pulley-less bridle and still the range of a pulleyed bridle as we found on the 2025 one. So only benefits coming out from this pulley-less bridle. All in all, we did not expect to have such a big improvement between two versions of already very, very good kite. We at Kitemana are stoked to see these improvements and seeing where the kite market goes in terms of high performance kites. If you want to see more of us testing these high performance kites, please like and subscribe to the Kitemana channel. Leave a comment down below what you think of this, and check availability here of the Rebel 2026 D Lab. Thank you for watching. See you on the water. On to the next one. Ciao.